Video game stuff. Like, there's a lot of shit, man, that we could go on about and rant about, and it's similar to the Disney-Sony situation with, like, there was this stuff with Apex Legends where they kind of ruined the meta by having all this stuff being purchasable and everybody being upset about that, but everybody forgetting, like, you don't have to do that because it's all cosmetics. And then people from Respawn were tired of fucking hearing it and came out and said, hey, this is how the shit is. Like, stop it. Mm-hmm. And now they're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Bless you. Same thing happened with Gearbox, with that whole shit with that dude who now his channel got removed from YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But he came out and said, yo, I was in the wrong. Like, I was in the wrong. I was using thumbnails from private Twitch channels and using those as my thumbnails in YouTube videos and talking about things I shouldn't have been talking about. That's on me. But Gearbox, I know. Gearbox is the bad guy.
You're a part of this too. Yeah, right? Gearbox is the bad guy.
2K is the bad guy for protecting their IP.
Yeah.
Right? Nintendo does this shit all the time.
Yeah.
But they get a free pass because it's Nintendo for protecting their IP.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it for longer than a day or two. All this stuff earlier in the year when they did when Gearbox did the reveal of Borderlands 3, and Randy Pitchford, his quote was, "We're not gonna nickel and dime you. None of that bullshit. There's no gonna be random loot boxes in this game. Period." Everybody chopped up that quote to no loot boxes in Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or no microtransactions in Borderlands 3. That's not what they said.
Yeah.
They said, we're not going to nickel and dime you with random loot boxes. That's the quote. And then when he came out and said, I don't understand why you guys would fuck me like this, he's completely in the right.
Yeah.
Because they took something and chopped it up to make a salacious story. And didn't even print the full quote.
Or a lot of sites take a quote and chop it up so many times they do multiple stories.
Right. So he's completely in the right. But, once you defend yourself and you're part of a big company, you're a bully. You're the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so fucking over this shit. In video games, in real life when it comes to, political things or anywhere. I'm so tired of outrage culture and bullies claiming they're being bullied when they fucking start the shit. It's like I told you, man, when you're in school and the bully picks on somebody and then he gets punched in the mouth and then he cries and tells, and the other kid gets in trouble. If you would have kept your mouth and your hands to yourself, you wouldn't have got punched in the face.
I feel like the only thing that's ever okay is the initial claim. Everything else after that, you're someone could spout off whatever they want to spout off, and that ends up being okay. But then everything else is.
And then it really bummed me out because, the whole Apex thing. That's all I always tell you. Like, I hate that Greg Miller never takes a stance, and he always walks the middle. And I understand that he gets a lot of shit for walking the middle and not necessarily picking a side, but not giving an actual opinion on something. And maybe it's not his job to give an editorial opinion. Maybe he's just covering the thing.
And sometimes that's good. Sometimes you want that in a reporter.
Right.
Dave Meltzer could learn a thing or two.
Exactly. But with this Apex thing, a quote came out of context where one of the developers said, called the people who don't buy anything freeloaders. And he said, but we still love you, and our game wouldn't exist without you. But all people took was the freeloaders thing. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard Colin or Tim or Kevin or anybody on Kind of Funny call people who don't subscribe to the Patreon freeloaders, and it's not a big deal because they use it in a very tongue-in-cheek way. Yeah. And that's the way this guy from Apex from Respawn was doing it. Like, he's using it in a very tongue-in-cheek way. And if you would have read the entire quote, you would get that. But no, that's not the thing. He called us freeloaders. Fuck Apex Legends. That's not what he did.
Everyone just changes the narrative to fit
what they want. Yeah, and it's something that I'm so tired of, man. Like, I know you still consume like a lot of games media, but you haven't been playing video games lately. And
100%.
In a way, I'm kind of jealous of that because I would love to be able to just turn all that other shit off, but it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's not. I mean, that's just for whatever reason.
Right. Yeah. You weren't doing that intentionally, but it's a nice byproduct of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But every day I go to Kotaku. I even go to Reset Era. I watch Kind of Funny Games daily. Like, I'm very aware of everything.
Yeah. So I'm just tired of people not being able to defend themselves, or the people that do, when they do defend themselves, they're deemed as like, oh, why are you attacking the little guy?
That's what I hate. That's what I meant when I said earlier. Like, I feel like anyone can say whatever they want to start off something, but then, and everyone believes that, and they just eat it up. But then I hate that.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to defend yourself, like
terrible.
You said.
It's such horseshit. It's such horseshit. Like, there's a quest line in Borderlands 2's DLC that came out at E3 that was like the bridge between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 with Claptrap, where he's mining cryptocurrency, and so it's making fun of cryptocurrency, but people took it as a shot at their former lawyer who claimed that Randy Pitchford had embezzled money. This quest line about cryptocurrency was somehow a veiled shot at this lawyer that's suing Randy Pitchford because he claims he embezzled $12 million.
Yeah.
During the quest line, the thing people say is like during the quest line, you help Claptrap mine this cryptocurrency, and then he quits the Crimson Raiders, and he calls Lilith, who's the commander of the Crimson Raiders, and says, "I quit. I have my own money now. I don't need you anymore." And her response is, "Okay," and then that's it. And then a few seconds later, he goes, "Oh no, the secondary cryptocurrency market has tanked. Lilith, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Can I have my job back?" And she goes, "Okay." And that's it. Like, that's the way that storyline, that quest line closes.
That's funny.
And there's no veiled shot at this fucking guy. Like, it's people so are reading stupid. Into it. Yeah, of course they're reading into it because they have nothing better to fucking do. And it's fucking garbage, man. And like, Gearbox didn't say anything, because if they would have said anything and be like, well, actually, no, it's not. It's making fun of cryptocurrency. Ooh, get off our back, man. We're just telling you what we saw. No, you're putting your own shit onto something that's not there. You're putting things there that aren't there.
Yeah.
You're adding logic to an illogical situation. And it's so aggravating. And it's the thing I really hate right now about every industry, whether it be video games or movies or, even going into like politics, shit that actually does matter. Unlike video games and TV and movies, like it's the same everywhere. Yeah. It's the same outrage of you can't defend yourself. No, I can say whatever I want, but you can't say anything. Yeah, because I'm the little guy.
That's why I don't know. I mean, I've felt this way before, but pretty often recently, I've actually gotten to a point where I've gotten complete burnout from my phone, where I've been really tired of just looking at the same websites, going to the same things, refresh, where I actually start to, what the fuck? I need to stop. And a lot of that does have to do with, I should probably just stop. Right. But a lot of it also has to do with what you're saying. There's so much bullshit out there that it's not even fun to read. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just need to shut it off. And I think that's actually is one reason why I did start dipping my toe back into playing. Again, I never officially
but you kind of you're taking a break.
And there was no thing. It's just I've just sort of still been a little I don't know. It's funny. You get used to not doing something for a month, which I did, when I was gone, and you come back to it, and it wasn't the first thing that I wanted to do.
I did that last summer. There was nothing calling me on the Switch, so it just kind of sat there, and I didn't play it for a month and a half or whatever. And then Paladins came out, and I was like, oh shit, this is and it was something that got me back into picking up my Switch and checking things every day. And I've done that. I did that last year. Seemed like the year I did that because I did it with the PlayStation 2, where I didn't turn it on for 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Well, you were telling me how I get a new TV, so my PlayStation hasn't been turned on at all because I've been watching stuff through the thing. I've just been messing with it. But I don't know. There's just some stuff. Bring it to wrestling. I can't read some people's opinion. I don't even know that I want to keep listening to the Grill and JR podcast, this current episode, because the beginning of it was so fucking obnoxious with Conrad and stuff and Jim Ross, and I'm just I don't. Yeah. I can't deal with it. So, it's same with game stuff. Yeah, it's a bit much, man, and I don't I think these conversations need to happen, but they need to happen in a more mature way. Yeah. If you don't like a business practice of a large company, cool. Let's fucking talk about it. But that stuff all gets buried though. But when they give you a response, you can't immediately get on the defensive, especially if their response isn't offensive. Because this Apex thing wasn't an offensive response. Yeah. It was this guy telling you how he feels. The freeloaders that don't buy anything, that doesn't matter to us. We love that. Mm-hmm. We want people playing our game. That's what matters. But all that gets chopped is he called us freeloaders, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way about all words. It's not words, it's intent. It's the intention behind the word.
And I see all these headlines all the time now because like there's all these, you know, like Google and Chrome, they have like this like feed and stuff. And so sometimes I'll see the same story 3 or 4 fucking times.
Yeah.
Because it's being written by somebody else, or it's being told in a different way, or they're taking a quote and chopping it up into pieces and writing like a completely bullshit fucking article that is maybe a paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I really wanted to talk about today, games wise. I've been playing some games.
Yeah.
I picked up the Crew. I picked up the Crew 2 again the other day because I forgot I owned it. But an update happened, and it's like, hey, the Crew 2's been updated. I was like, I fucking own that game?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I do. So I picked it up last night. And I was like,
did you think you just Redboxed it or something?
I think I did. Yeah, I think that's what I thought. And you know, that game's a lot more fun than I remember it being. And I really like the first one also. And yeah, I'm probably gonna play some more of that. But everything's gonna get thrown away on the third. Well, next Friday, Astral Chain comes out, and that's already preloaded on my Switch, and I'm so hyped. I hate turning on my Switch now because I see it there. I'm like, I just want to play it. Yeah. But then after that is Borderlands, and then I don't know what I'm gonna get to after that or how long I'll be playing Borderlands.